For the final play of the game, Catalan picks it off and Arkansas wins it. What a comeback by the Razorbacks.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
So I'm walking out of Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium to my car, and as I'm walking by, Jalen Catalan and Kendall Catalan are embracing with their family. It's really cool to just see the joy on their face following the 24-13 Arkansas win. And that was the same joy that many of you shared following the conclusion of the Razorbacks' victory. There is an excitement within this fan base right now that is boiling over, and it is so satisfying, so gratifying to see where this football team is right now. It's because of guys like Jalen Catalan that are making this team great. We have so much to unload talking about Tennessee this morning. What a victory. What a second half performance, particularly third quarter performance by the Arkansas Razorbacks. And you can call or text in at any point here. It's 877-377-6963. It is also a Hot Take Monday, and you can get those in, and it's brought to you by Wheels RV this morning.
Yeah, Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with all the top brands. If you're getting ready to go to deer camp this weekend, get by Wheels RV. Every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, and their mobile service shuttle will keep you camping this weekend. It's all at Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale.
We can start with Jalen Catalan because he had 10 tackles in the first quarter. Not the first half, but the first quarter. He had the interception at the end, which ended the game. Great play by Hudson Clark to tip it, and then Jalen came down with the interception. Jalen also forced a fumble in this game. I mean, this guy's unbelievable, but would be shocked to not see his name amongst the All-SEC list at some point this season. Is just an incredible football player. Had a few hits in the game. They were just jarring hits. Made sure to lead with his shoulder rather than his helmet, unlike what he did last game. But just an unbelievable football player. And there are so many guys that you can talk about stepping up. Mike Woods, I know that Eddie in Clarksville was asking for the wide receiver core outside of Traylon Burks to step up. Well, I guess Mike heard you, Eddie, because he had an unreal outing. Blake Kern had his first touchdown as a Razorback. A lot of guys really stepped up in this game. You can't say enough about Jonathan Marshall and the pressure he applied in the second half. A couple tackles for loss. Unbelievable performance in that second half for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, and really the turnaround in the third quarter to get off the field. Tennessee early in this ballgame is diabolically just dismantling Arkansas, slowly going down the field, running the football with that opening drive. I think they only threw the ball, 4 times? I mean, I forget the number. I didn't write it down, but just Jim Chaney run at Arkansas. And Arkansas probably, I think, felt the pressure offensively, sitting on the sideline. They come out, they go down the field, and in their early drives missed the field goal, probably feeling the pressure after watching in 2 drives Tennessee take like nearly 13 minutes off the clock. Time of possession was so tilted towards Tennessee. When you're Kendall Briles, then you come out and you finally get the ball, you feel the pressure to make something happen so quickly. And in Arkansas's 4 first-half possessions, not a lot going on. And Tennessee able to put a touchdown and 2 field goals on the board, but then in the third quarter, everything changed.
Arkansas was fortunate a little bit on Saturday night. You had 4 fumbles in the game, 2 from Felipe Franks, 1 from Traylon Smith, and then 1 from Blake Kern. Luckily, you recovered all those. Tennessee had 2 interceptions, 1 by Eric Gregory off a tip pass from Greg Brooks, and the other from Hudson Clark from that Jalen Catalan ended up picking off, where Hudson tipped it back in the end zone to end the football game. So Arkansas had some fortunes go their way on Saturday night, but it was just a lot of things going for you in that third quarter. What are you feeling about the game, though? How excited are you this morning? You got 4 games remaining. You're 3-3, over halfway point. What are you feeling about this game? It's 8-7-7, 3-7-7, 6-9, 6-3. What I took away from seeing Jalen and Kendall and his family after the game is just the jubilation on their faces, just to see. I can't even describe how cool it was. And Jalen was very business. He was very matter-of-fact after the game, talking with the media. Really, really fun to listen to, just kind of his insight on what played out. And what he told us following the game was they came together as a defense and just said, we're not letting them score on the final possession. Now, there was a lot of dinking and dunking, which as an Arkansas fan you were okay with as long as you didn't get beat deep and gave up a quick touchdown. But it was cool to see Barry Odom's defense once again stand tall in the final possession of the game, where at that point it didn't matter. The game had been decided. You give up a touchdown, it's over. It doesn't matter. But the defense said, no. We've had such a successful outing in the second half. We're not giving it up. In the third quarter, I believe you had 16 total yards that you gave up in that quarter. What a number of possessions that the defense just stymied Jeremy Pruitt's offense and Jim Chaney's offense. Now, that was partially due to Jerry Garantano's injury in the second half, where he went out with a concussion. You had kind of the rotating quarterbacks with Maurer and Harrison Bailey going back and forth. But just the defense, how they were able to stop Ty Chandler and I'm forgetting the other running back's name. Chandler and Gray.
Yeah, Gray.
Gray. Those two, they were able to just really shut them down in the second half.
Yeah, and surprise, going back to the kind of the end of the game there, surprised at all, or what was your thoughts on the decision not to kick the field goal by Jeremy Pruitt?
Well, his explanation was it was too far, but it wasn't too far because the guy had made field goals farther than the attempted what he was going for. What happened, and this is why A.J. Reed's 48-yard field goal was so key, is that Jeremy felt like that they had to score there, a touchdown, not just a field goal, and they weren't able to do that. It completely, A.J. Reed's field goal from 48 yards completely altered the game plan and the trajectory of how Jeremy Pruitt ended that football game.
Because you were going to need a field goal and then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie.
Correct, because they were down 11.
Right, so... I thought it was an interesting decision because essentially you put the game on the line more or less right there. I mean, you basically decided you were going to win or lose in that moment, because if you had scored, were you going to go for 2? Because that would have been another interesting decision, because you more or less would have had to at that point go for 2 to give yourself a chance to tie on a field goal. So I thought it was the wrong decision not to kick the field goal and give your team a chance, but that's why they pay you the big bucks.
I was sitting in the press box through the first half, did the halftime, just recap. We do it always just on hitthatline.com, our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch channels. And I left, went sat in a box, which was a lot more fun. It was a lot more fun to watch the game there, and because Arkansas just took off from there. Third quarter-wise, I was amazed. Play after play, whether it was Mike Woods' catch and run where he just stepped out and would have had that touchdown after getting pushed out of bounds on that pass interference call. Traylon Burks in the play he made, unbelievable also play from Felipe Franks rolling out, and just a pure flawless throw from him. And then you had also a couple, Traylon Smith, I call him the jitterbug because he can't be stopped. And this is a conversation we're going to have to unpack earlier in the week, but the offense just looks better with Traylon in there. It looks better with Traylon Smith in there. And I love Rakeem Boyd, but the offense looks better with Traylon Smith in there. It looks more like the offense is more cohesive with Traylon Smith in the ball game because he's more versatile when it comes to catching the football and running the football. But that's a conversation that we will table for later in the week. But what do you think about this game? What was the biggest halftime adjustment that Barry Odom, Sam Pittman, and Kendall Briles made? That's what we're talking about this morning. That is our Morning Rush poll question. We got to talk about this defense. We got some quick and neat headlines we're going to get into. Tom Murphy is going to join us in hour number 2 at 7:20 like he always does. But just a lot of happy Razorback fans following the conclusion of the Tennessee game. It has been quite some time since the Tennessee Volunteers have beaten the Arkansas Razorbacks. If I remember correctly, you got to go all the way back to 2007. We talked to Eric Gaines last week. He was the quarterback then. A whole lot more coming up.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagle's Nest is coming in hot.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations on Borough Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to WholeHogFortSmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are open with limited seating until further notice. They're open 11 till 6 Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deer Woods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about renter's insurance.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that you are now able to get the repair process started on your schedule. With just a few clicks of your cell phone, you can send photos and your vehicle information directly to our shop. We will respond within 24 hours with a detailed estimate for repairs. It's that simple. We are here for you. Visit our website for all of the details. We offer complimentary pickup and drop-off as well, and extra steps are being taken to ensure your car is returned as good as new and completely sanitized.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Franks gonna throw it. Tight end. Kern. Touchdown, Arkansas. Blake Kern with his first. Touchdown reception as a Razorback.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Second half D was incredible. Arkansas started down in that game. It really looked like it was kind of a replica of the Texas A&M game, and then the defense just stood stone tall in the second half. And we will get into, again, a lot more. We're taking your calls this morning at 877-377-6963. We are brought to you by Washita Farms.
Yes, sir. Brought to you by the state licensed cannabis farm, processor, and seed labeler right there in Central Arkansas, implementing an extraction process that creates a full-spectrum product that's carried in their Hot Springs location as well as 200 stores across the state of Arkansas. They do it right here in our state at Hot Springs Farms. Their CBD products are made right here in Arkansas at Washita Farms. They're made right in Hot Springs, and they're all natural, no additive products are made from 100% USA-grown hemp. Washita Farms products are small batch made. Lab results are verified and published right on the website at WashitaFarms.com. Washita Farms, family owned by the Owen brothers, David, and along with his brothers Jeff, Mark, and Mitchell, all born and raised in Hot Springs. And you can stop in and see all they have to offer at their store at 3958 Highway 7 North in Hot Springs Village. Here's the code you can use at checkout for a great discount, WPS15. That's WPS15 for a great discount at WashitaFarms.com. That's WashitaFarms.com.
Another guy that needs to be given credit this morning is Julius Coates, and that's who Chester and Cotter wants to kind of give props to is Julius Coates, kind of like Jonathan Marshall, was just wrecking havoc in that backfield. And that was one of the guys that several people had said is going to have an impact on the season, about 6'6", 6'7", defensive end that was just masterful at times last night, disrupting the Tennessee offense, and really in the second half was a big part of getting after the Tennessee Vols rushing attack.
Yeah, and getting pressure on that quarterback and confusing their backfield was critical, but in early in this ball game, there was not really much opportunity to do this because Tennessee was running the ball so regularly. You know, like 17 out of 20 plays, they were running the football, and I thought they once they made those adjustments after the first couple of drives, I thought they really kind of zeroed in on some things and put Tennessee in the situations they needed to be successful. Once you got past the first two drives, it's kind of a different ball game, and it's certainly into the third quarter. Totally different for this defense.
Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome in Rod, who's on I-40. Rod, you're on the Morning Rush.
It's a good day to be a Razorback. That was a heck of a good win. I like the way we made the adjustments. We shut them down. It was great. We've had a couple days to enjoy it now, but in our next game, Florida.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
You don't suppose A&M would let us borrow their Amos Smith there for a game, would you? I'd really like to have that. I think, for Florida.
You want another you want a different running back?
Well, yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have a little extra firepower. I mean, this is Florida. They look pretty darn good. Everything I've seen about them is, pretty good. I mean, they're top shelf.
There's another team that had to mount a comeback from the weekend after watching Georgia take it to the house on the first play, 75 yards on a run from Zamir White, and then a pick six. They found themselves in a hole that they dug out quite impressively from.
They make some pretty good adjustments themselves. I mean, they showed a really good resilience there. They're not just going to lay down and let us walk over them in their home stadium, I don't think.
Yeah, and I wonder, Rod, on the subject of Florida, they had the really good second quarter. Arkansas, the good third quarter, 24 points for the Gators in the second quarter against the Bulldogs. I wonder how high, if that's going to affect them playing Arkansas, how high they're going to be coming off a rivalry win, a game that they haven't won in quite some time, what that's going to do to their confidence level, and if it might overblow it a little bit taking on the Razorbacks this weekend.
We could catch them asleep a little bit. If we got off to a really big jump, it's not our MLS, but if we got off to a really big jump, yeah, I could see our defense stiffening up and holding them, pretty much. It's strange having a defense like that at Arkansas, but that's really good defense.
Well, Rod, we appreciate the call this morning. We can't can't give the defense enough credit for what they were able to do in the second half. And I know watching the first half was really disappointing to see Chandler and Gray just run over and over, and the offensive line, Smith, Mays, and those guys just seemed to have their way with the Arkansas defensive line in the second half. But credit to, again, Derek LeBlanc, credit to Ryan Rhodes, credit to Sam Carter, and credit to, obviously, Barry Odom for coming together as a defensive coaching staff and making the adjustments necessary to stop Tennessee in the second half.
5 straight punts and 2 interceptions to end the ball game was what Tennessee's second half looked like. 5 punts, 2 interceptions, and there's 7 second-half possessions for Tennessee.
Yeah, and then when you look at what they were able to do as far as 3-and-out goes, you forced 4 3-and-outs in that second half. So really good defense for Arkansas to continuously just tick off Jeremy Pruitt on the sidelines and Jim Chaney as they just couldn't get anything going. Back to the phone lines, going to Florida, welcoming in Don to the conversation. Don, you're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, good morning from the Sunshine State. It's John, but that's okay.
Hey, John. Sorry about
good
that.
Morning. No worries. Good morning from the Sunshine State, where I'm driving to work in the rain. Great game. It was great to see us be the team that doesn't wilt in the second half. Us be the team that make the halftime adjustments. Us be the team that did the things they had to do. Especially, I mean, you got to credit offense and defense. And I think the offensive line and the defensive line in that third quarter.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree.
I also got a chance Friday night to go watch a couple of recruits, one commit and one recruit. Cocoa, Florida, where I live, played Rockledge, which is literally divided. 2 towns are divided by a street. They're both what in Arkansas would probably be 4A teams. I saw Raheem Sanders, Rocket, and Ryan Black, Jr., target. Raheem Sanders, man, he looks the part. Rockledge lost. There were probably 6 D1 offers on both teams. I think Cocoa had 4. They both had impressive offensive and defensive lines. It was both of them were undefeated. Both of them had shut out most of their season opponents. This was the last game of the season for them. It's a big rivalry game. Rockledge lost, but Raheem Sanders looked great. They played both he and Ryan Black played offense and defense. Raheem had an 80-yard touchdown at the opening. He had 2 touchdowns, but one was an 80-yard touchdown. I missed the play. I don't know if it was an interception or if it was a reception, because I was walking back up to the field when he was running down into the end zone. But he's an impressive receiver. Very fast.
He's an incredible high school football player. John, we appreciate the call. And the nickname Rocket, I know, is something Arkansas fans have really gravitated towards, and he is definitely going to be one of your better recruits in this upcoming class.
Yep, fun to watch. And other people that got to see him play against Bryant came away impressed as well. Hey, is your home in Arkansas at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? They're offering Arkansas customers a no-cost program to increase your comfort and to lower your bills. Train crews will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will come back and install measures like attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, power strips, and a whole lot more. This is a no-charge program. Call 1-800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741 for OG&E.
Coming up, more of the Morning Rush. Stay with us.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Brinkra Furniture at 405 4th Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at FrankRowFurniture.com. Frank Row Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Sue from the paint store. And you know, those big box retailers can't compete with the experience and expert-friendly advice we give you here at the paint store in Van Buren. I've tested myself, then chosen just the right blend of Richards paints to give you the best performance. Richards Paints is a company with the same philosophy as us: top-notch coverage, extreme washability. The bonus for you is the friendly expert advice you get free with every gallon. Call 474-4505 or stop by and see us at 1414 Fayetteville Road. We'll see you soon.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Dee's Family Restaurant of Alma at 39 Column Lane across from the water park is now reopened and ready to serve you. We're open 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. Breakfast is served all day and our full menu is available at 10:30 a.m. All you can eat steak on Thursday night, cooked order prime rib on Friday night, and now we deliver on Waiter. Curbside and to-go is still available. Call ahead, 632-1014.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Franks pumps once. He wanted to go deep. Everybody was covered. Now he's going to heave it downfield. He's got Burks at the 20, complete. Traylon inside the 10. Burks is at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas! Traylon Burks.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Once again, Traylon Burks could not be contained by another SEC opponent. Continues to put up great statistics and great plays every single week. And that's why so many fans are excited about the Warren, Arkansas native and what he can do in his career at Arkansas. We got a lot more to get to. Again, your calls, your text, 877-377-6963. Our Morning Rush poll question is, what was the biggest halftime adjustment you think the Hogs made against Tennessee? It is also a Hot Take Monday.
Yeah, it's brought to you by Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. They want you to get out and explore this fall. They have the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping, like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. It's all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
I have a trivia question for both you two this morning, and I'll tell you what. If you get it right, Tommy, I'll let Jenkins buy your lunch today.
Sounds like a lot of risk for you.
When is the last time Arkansas has been down to an SEC opponent at home and come back and won the football game? The answer is going to surprise you. When is, and for callers, 877-377-6963, when is the last time Arkansas has gone down to an SEC opponent at home and still won the football game?
Just down by a point, any margin.
Any margin.
Just down any point.
Any margin. When is the last time an SEC they have gone down to an SEC opponent and then ended up winning? The answer, again, is going to surprise you.
Well, the last time they won it, I mean,
the last home win was Florida, and they.
I'm hearing you.
Last home win was there we go. Last home win was Florida, back in 2016.
Well, they won.
Well, no, I'm
they
just
won
I'm
earlier this year. I'm just trying to remember. I don't want to pass up the answer. Obvious, right in front of me. So, were they down to Ole Miss?
I'll knock that out.
Yeah.
Santos Ramirez picked 6 in the Florida game, so they didn't start down in that football game. That was back in 2016. So I'll knock that answer. I'll help you on that.
Yeah.
When is the last time Arkansas has gone down to an SEC opponent at home and still won the football game? Last time they went down to an SEC opponent, still won, was, I think, Ole Miss back in 2017 when they were down 31-7 at one point. I was just texting Andrew Hutchinson about that. That's the biggest comeback in school history as far as SEC opponent goes. I'm telling you, this. I was doing this research last night, and this answer shocked me to see this. Let's go and take a guess.
Down initially or down at any point?
Down initially. When is the last time Arkansas has gone down initially and won the football game?
I want to say that 4 overtime win to Auburn would be against with Bielema would be the one I would. But I don't remember. I don't know. I'd have to.
You going with that one?
I'm not going with that, but that's what comes to mind.
Okay.
So
let's just take a guess. I'll just.
That would be a guess because I know they won that game in 4 overtimes against Auburn.
I ain't got any idea.
You have any idea?
Yeah.
You know, you're close on Auburn.
Yeah.
You got to go all the way back to 2011.
11. Okay.
2011 is the last time, and I watched every bit of highlights of this last night because I was going through the different scheduling last night. I was like, okay, so they start up in this game. They started up against Ole Miss in 2016. They started up against Auburn in 2015. You have to go all the way back to 2011 and Tyler Wilson and Joe Adams, and Jarius Wright, and all those guys. That is the last, and that is just insane to me. During the Brett Bielema era, you never were down at home and end up winning the football game to an SEC opponent.
I heard the stat given the other night that when Arkansas was down 13 or more at the half, the record in the last 33 games had been 1-32. Now it's 2-32. So, I mean, Arkansas's record being down a couple of touchdowns hasn't been good in recent times. So at least they overcame that demon that, you know, has not been one they've been able to exercise lately. So maybe that's a trend. A, that's not a trend you want to even find yourself in, but B, just the confidence to be able to storm back or come back from 13 down to win a ball game is something they haven't been able to do lately anyway.
And I just think that shows the fight in this grid, this football team. Here's what Sam Pittman had to say about what he said at half. He's like, they weren't worried. It was like, hey, guys, it's okay. It's not that big of it's not that insurmountable of a lead. Let's just stay with it.
I've been coaching a long time, and 13 points, it's not like we were down 50. And our locker room felt a little down whenever. So I just said, hey, look, man, we're going to get the ball. We're going to go score. Your defense going to hold them. We're going to be up before you know it. Just keep the faith. Our defense had kind of figured them out a little bit late in the second quarter. Our offense had just shot themselves in the foot. Tennessee had done a nice job on defense, and we'd missed a field goal. But, it's all – I told them the mind's so powerful, and your mind needs to tell you that we're going to go win the game, and here's how we're going to do it. And I didn't want to see any negative – I didn't want to see heads hanging or anything like that because it was only a 13-point game. And
that's just a very simple, straight-to-the-point statement from Sam Pittman and the guys at half. Guys, we're going to score this. And, what did they do? You said 5 minutes, 75-yard drive that they had from Kendall Briles in the opening possession.
17 of the second half, 17 plays, 75 yards, 5 minutes, 14 seconds.
And that goes to show you just how confident that group was that, hey, we can get right back in this, and that's exactly what they did. Not only did they do that, they delivered their best quarter of the football season, scoring 24 points. The defense completely shutting down them in that football game. And again, in the second half, y'all, 4 3-and-outs that Arkansas forced. Tennessee had 5 punts, 2 interceptions, and did not score a point.
Well,
shut out in the second half.
And you're right, but then the other possession was 4 plays, 12 yards. So, I mean, that's not a 3-and-out, but it's the next best thing, right? So, Tennessee's possessions in the second half, that was the critical thing that goes along with it. Yes, you went 75 yards and you score a touchdown. Then you back it up with sending Tennessee off the field, 3 plays, 5 yards. They punt it away. You come right back on the field, go 3 plays, 67 yards. You get in the end zone in a minute on the that would have been the one where Woods goes down the sideline, gets called out at the 6. Is that right?
I don't know exactly where he got called out, but he did step out at a point.
Yeah, I think it's right 6. So then you score, then you come right back, 3-and-out again for Tennessee. 3 plays, 6 yards. They're off the field. You come back, go 2 plays, 81 yards. So I guess that would have been Burks' touchdown. Tennessee comes back, 3 plays, get a yard. They're off the field in a punt. You come back, get the field goal. They're off the field in 4 plays and 12 yards. I mean, it was just they could get nowhere. Now, at that point in the second half, Tennessee had lost their leader. Garantano was out, concussion protocol, hit his head on the ground. I mean, it was the ideal situation for your defense to flourish at that point. You took full advantage of a situation with 2 different backup quarterbacks that were on the field, and you didn't let them have any confidence. You didn't give them one breath of hope. They didn't draw one breath of confidence in that situation.
Mm-hmm. And Barry Odom came in and just said,
"Shut it down!"
So I think when it came to just the Arkansas defense, they showed some fight because they were just getting bruised and battered in the first half. And you're like, here we go again, this rushing attack that we just saw Texas A&M destroy us with last week. Well, that wasn't the case, and that's a credit to Barry Odom, Sam Pittman, and those guys in that locker room. 877-377-6963 is the number to call or text, and we're going to get some quickening headlines, including a big win for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish this weekend. But first, I want to welcome in Eddie in Clarksville. Eddie, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning. Good morning to the fan base. Hey, listen, let me give you my take on the game. I called it last week. I called in, and I was cheering on a couple of receivers. And, boy, did they step up big time in this game. You've seen the potential of Michael Woods. Davion Warren contributed some big runs in this game. But there was one receiver I'm going to be cheering on him. It's Trey Knox till he plays up to his potential. I mean, and you know what, Traylon Burks, he's already, in my opinion, playing his way into the NFL. What a receiver he is. But I want to give, from just on the outskirts, a little 2A school. And by the way, I worked with his mother at the D.C., Miss Amy English, and a young man, Mr. Blake Kern, tied in. I mean, I said it on post game the other night, and he's a story that America loves. I mean, he's weird turn, he's put on weight, developed his game, and this year he's made the most of his opportunity. Congrats from my heart to you, son. Way to go, Blake Kern. That way, son. I mean, he's turning in to a good tight end, and to me, he can block. And to some NFL scouts, you better be paying attention. I think he can make a good tight end. But, when you look at this game, it was a tale of two halves. I mean, in the first half, I thought, the balls were going to be singing good old Rocky Top on our playing field. But that's not the way the story was going to be written. Coach Pittman took our team in, and he turned that jukebox up. And I'd like to think he got a little fire in the benches. And that's what I did last week. I lit a fire in some of these players' benches, and boy, did they step up. I mean, I couldn't be happier for this team because we should be 4-2 in the toughest schedule in the country. And we're taking this team into Gator country this weekend. And we're not going down there just to blow a whistle. We're going to win that game, and win or lose, we're going to come to fight. And I like to take one of the conversations about Treylon Burks, where he likes to take a knife and try to kill a Razorback hog. But let me tell you, you take that knife and that fight to Gator country, and let's put it on the Gators. Thank you for taking my call.
Couple things we need to just kind of go over there. One, Trey Knox is not playing a lot, so I don't know what you're wanting. Clay actually brought up a good point, a point that I did not know until last Friday, that Trey Knox was recruited more as a linebacker out of school, out of Murfreesboro. 6'5". Arkansas was one, if not the only school that offered him to play wide receiver. And I know you saw glimpses and flashes of him last year, but, I mean, Pittman's been pretty clear and open. He's not getting open. And, I mean, I was surprised to see John. And, listen, I grew up with John David White going to football games, and John David came in before he did. Think about that. A walk-on came in before Trey Knox did in that football game. He didn't get a lot of snaps. I saw him play on special teams and stuff. I don't know what's going to happen there. As far as if he needs to switch positions, if he just needs to get more straight line speed. I can't wait to break down wide receiver specifics as some of the better college football guys can, but it's not happening right now, and it's disappointing because he's my favorite wide receiver as part of that group. But I mean, I don't know why you're just ripping into the kid. I don't know.
Well, clearly the quarterbacks and the play caller, Kendall, probably don't have the confidence to call his number and to throw the ball his way.
He's had chances, like he had the 2-point conversion he dropped in, the Mississippi State game earlier this year?
So maybe some things change. Maybe there's an opportunity for the light bulb to come on or for it to all click or whatever adage or phrase you want to use. But right now it's not happening. And the confidence isn't there, or doesn't appear to be, at least from the outside, that the coaching staff and the players around him have the confidence to include him in the game plan. So how can you target a guy you don't have the confidence in to either get open or to catch the ball when he is open? You're probably not going to call his number very often in a key moment if you don't think he's going to deliver. So that appears to me, from the outside looking in, they don't believe that he's going to make the play if given the opportunity.
Well, now Eddie also brought up guys that did step up. Davion Warren had a couple good rushes in that football game. Mike Woods really stepped up and made a couple big-time plays, including the slant route that was a touchdown, including that long should have been a touchdown. If not, he had stepped out a little before getting to the goal line. So he really stepped up in that football game. And you just know what you're going to get from Treylon Burks at this point. I mean, he's consistent. Anytime he's on the football field, and even if he's injured, you're going to get consistency out of him. He's getting open. He can go deep. And just and I know a lot of you have been frustrated with Felipe holding the ball too long, and you and I aren't out of that group. But if not for Felipe making a play with his legs and keeping his eyes downfield, finding Treylon on that deep route, that wouldn't have happened. And just a perfect, flawless pass from it. He just showed his arm strength, and that's what we heard from Jim Nagy last week, who's the director of the Senior Bowl, how it's plays like that make you think that Felipe could have some success at the NFL level, and just an absolute dime from Franks to find Burks for that long touchdown pass.
I'm not going to pretend to be able to break down footwork or the mechanics of playing quarterback, but the layman could see the feet getting set, and then just the way the ball came off his hands, the way it was perfectly thrown. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be Dilfer to break that one down. It just looked right. To the untrained eye, it looked right, and it was perfectly thrown. So you're right. He escaped. It was a play moving to the right on your television, so it was to his left out of the pocket, and it just looked like an NFL caliber play the way he moved, set his feet, found his target, and delivered.
Many of you have been asking about Arkansas and the bowl projections. I know that's getting out in front a little bit, but from various outlets like CBS Sports, ESPN, and then 24/7, Arkansas is projected, depending on who you look, depending on who you follow. The ones that I consistently see are the Outback Bowl, the Texas Bowl, and Music City Bowl. Music City's in Nashville, Texas Bowl's in Houston, and the Outback is in Tampa. So that's where you're projected right now at this point in time.
I just, pardon me, a lot of times in a normal year where ticket sales are of consideration once you get past, college football playoff and a few other bowls that are of merit, then they start going regionally to try to sell the tickets. This year, I wonder how much of a consideration that is, how much of a reward these games will be. I just wonder how they're going to dole them out based on your season and based on the tickets they're going to try to sell this year.
Well, I think part of the bowl experience is the players getting to, like you're talking about, have fun in these different towns, and you can't really do that with everything going on, unfortunately.
But that's what I'm saying. That in the past they would try to, when all things were equal, well, let's send this team to here because it's 200 miles closer for their fans, and we'll send this team over here because it's 200 miles closer or 150 miles closer for their fans, and it'll help the schools and the conference sell these tickets because in the end we want the best bottom line for the league that's going to share in the profits. Once you got past a certain level, all things were kind of equal. So Arkansas would go to the Liberty Bowl or to Houston or somewhere else, and they would send an Ole Miss or an Auburn or somewhere else to Nashville or somewhere because it's closer for them. So I wonder how they'll look at it this year, because how high a priority will ticket sales be is my point, because I don't know how many tickets they're even going to try to sell this year in a COVID world.
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, let's get into some quick hitting headlines here on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, and those are brought to you by the Paint Store in Van Buren, ready to help you with those winter and fall projects. And don't let low temps that may be out there in the forecast right now slow you down. Even outside painting projects can be done this time of year. I know we had some great winter weather or great fall weather over the weekend with some great temperatures in the 70s. But, hey, those winter days are coming. They can help you with low temp application paints right now at the Paint Store in Van Buren. Great stains as well. Richards Paints and Richards Stains are top quality, and they can help you with any color of stain or paint at the Paint Store in Van Buren, 1414 Fayetteville Road, or call Sue at 474-4505. They keep your colors on file for 10 years, so even if you're trying to touch up a project you did years ago, they'll have that color ready for you with a call, and when you stop in to pick up your paint, it will be ready to go. 474-4505 for the best customer service at the Paint Store in Van Buren, 474-4505.
We got to give Orange's Notre Dame Fighting Irish credit because they were able to win in double overtime against the Clemson Tigers on Saturday night. It was an unbelievable game, and really DJ Ukulele, and that's, I know how you not to say his name, but that's the best way I can say it, is, I mean, he was not the reason you lost the football. Do you know how to say it?
Uigangalele.
Uigangalele. Uigangalele. Did Phil help you with that?
Yeah. No, that would have been Tom Hart, and we also had Bill King. Bill King grilled that into our heads on Wednesday.
Uigangalele.
The Lele, it's Lele at the end.
Uigangalele. All right, so DJ Uigangalele.
There you go.
Had over 400 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, was pretty accurate, had a pretty solid QBR, was not the reason that they lost the football game. Kyron Williams for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish was spectacular. Had over 100 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Ian Book had a pretty good outing as well, over 300 passing yards and a touchdown. They win in double overtime, and we had talked about Notre Dame kind of like Clemson in big-time games, not necessarily regular season games, but Notre Dame's got housed in some of these big-time college football playoff or national championship appearances. This was another type of one in the regular season, playing the number 1 team in the country. No Trevor Lawrence, mind you, but they did get the win nevertheless.
Yeah, I kept an eye on this one throughout it, but didn't watch it intently with Arkansas playing at the same time, but watched pretty intently the last 4 or 5 minutes of regulation and all of the overtime periods. And Clemson's defense wasn't up to its normal standard, missing some players.
It hasn't been this year at all.
And it hasn't been, but they'd had some players out. You got to believe, though, neutral field, maybe in December, Trevor Lawrence back, this game probably is 10 or 14 points at least the other way. Notre Dame would love to figure out a way to avoid playing these guys again, certainly with Trevor Lawrence. So I'm sure the committee will take that into account. But what Notre Dame has done is put themselves in a position as a one-loss team, and their only loss potentially to Clemson is being the 4 seed in the college football playoff. This is bad news for Texas A&M, who may find themselves as the other one-loss team and not being in the conference championship game. Of course, we've seen teams with their only loss coming in the conference championship game haven't fared well with the committee in the past. Would it be different this time around for a team like Notre Dame? They have the edge of being Notre Dame. This is probably a bad deal for perhaps Texas A&M.
Yeah, and that's a school that has more of a national national audience. Persona. That's the word I'm looking for. Than Texas A&M does, even as is big.
They always seem to get the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gators open as 17-point favorites this weekend. Again, you'll hear it here on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com starting at 6. We'll have Arkansas game day starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Really excited about that. Todd Blackledge and then Sean McDonough will be on the call for ESPN that night, and it's just going to be a fun game. Kyle Trask looks spectacular against the Georgia Bulldogs defense, which is potentially the best in the country. Now, no Richard LeCount. They missed 2 other guys who I'm forgetting. So this defense that they played on Saturday was not the same defense that Georgia had at the beginning of the season based on the injuries that they've unfortunately suffered. But big win for Dan Mullen's Florida Gators, and they are the favorites heading into this football game.
If I'm Arkansas, I want to be ready to go right out of the gate, not just for obvious reasons, but Florida may be a little flat early in this game. I expect Florida to play a good football game over the course of it, but you mentioned earlier Florida emotionally being drained a little bit. Wouldn't surprise me for them to take them maybe a possession or 2 longer to get into the flow of the ball game, just knowing what they've come off of and the emotional level it took to get up for that game. Arkansas still, they may be 3-3, but they're still got the tag of being Arkansas in the minds of a lot of teams in this league, and Florida's one of those teams. So Arkansas may have a chance to do some damage early in this ball game with Florida, and they ought to take full advantage of it.
Last headline for you, Kurt Herbstreit of ESPN is once again advocating for Sam Pittman to be mentioned as Coach of the Year. He pointed out the previous records under Arkansas the last 2 to 3 years, and he is banging the gavel saying that Sam deserves that award. We will see if he ends up getting it by season's end.
All right, it's Mexicali Monday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. One of my favorite entrees you can get off the menu at Joe's. It's a grilled chicken breast topped with sauteed spinach and their poblano cream sauce with their fresco cheese sauce as well. 2 cheese enchiladas and some sides that go along with it. It's on special on Mondays for $10. It's their Monday special at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Taco Tuesday tomorrow. If you're making plans for the game on Saturday, be at Joe's. $1 tacos and half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
Oh, what was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? Our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan. It's happening again.
Dad, hang up the phone.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today. Tell your mom.
During Toyotathon, qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months or a total bonus of $2,750 on a new 2021 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
You always get more at Orr. We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads. You always get more at Orr.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon in the mid to upper 70s. Clouds tonight. An overnight low will drop down into the low 60s. Partly to mostly sunny skies on Tuesday. A chance of a few isolated showers or storms. Our high in the low 70s, but temperatures will fall in the afternoon. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hertz Car Sales. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
This will probably be the final play of the game. 4 seconds to go. Hogs have blanked him in the second half. You know they'd like to keep that up. Bailey back in the end zone. Jump ball. Was it intercepted? I think it was. Catalan picked it off on the final play of the game. Catalan picks it off and Arkansas wins it. What a comeback by the Razorbacks.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It was awesome to hear Chuck Barrett at the end of the game when Hudson Clark tipped that pass and Jalen Catalan picked it off, and you shut the balls out. 24-13, a spectacular defensive performance. Catalan had 10 tackles in the first quarter. He was making statements all night long and continues to be one of the best young players in this conference. It is a Hot Take Money. Get your hot takes in at 877-377-6963.
Yeah, we want to hear them. It's brought to you by Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. Get out and explore this fall. The leaves are starting to fall yesterday. I don't know if you were around anywhere and saw that, but peak foliage going into the weekend. A lot of them starting to fall as the weekend moved on, and Wheels RV wants you to see it all. They got the luxury brands to get you out there like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with their lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. It's all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
So we talked about it a little bit last segment. Kurt Herbstreit is kind of banging the door on Sam Pittman potentially being the coach of the year in the SEC. Another guy that needs to get credit possibly for that award is Tom Allen, who's up there at Indiana. There's a couple other guys that you could probably list, but this is a realistic conversation. Pat Forty wrote a piece on that, and Sam Pittman's on the list. It seems like we continuously hear Sam Pittman being that name, and that's a name that's going to continue to get pounded, especially after adjustments in the second half that they were able to make at halftime. And when they do that, again, it's been over 5,000 days since the Tennessee Volunteers have been the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now, they've only played 3 games in that span, but it was cool to prolong that streak on Saturday night.
Now, when you say Coach of the Year, are you meaning SEC Coach of the Year or National Coach of the Year? Because those are two different conversations. Because I've seen it on Twitter with Herbstreit's name mentioned with the SEC Coach of the Year conversation, not National Coach of the Year.
There's been both. He's mentioned both.
Well, I've seen it with the SEC. I mean, the Indiana program's a top 15 program. Arkansas is not a ranked program right now. So let's. I think the SEC conversation is the first one we need to have at this point.
Does Arkansas deserve to be ranked?
I think that's certainly a conversation you're in right now. And do you deserve to be ranked? I think so. I think you need to certainly be in that conversation on the bottom half of the poll. Does that change who you are? I don't think – here's the thing. If you are ranked, let's just say you snuck in the poll at 23, 24, 25 this week. Let's just be honest. The odds of winning at Florida aren't good, and you'd fall back out of the poll. So this isn't the week you want to be in. What you want to do is go and upset Florida, be firmly in the poll, then beat LSU and beat Missouri and stay in a while. So my feelings aren't hurt not being in this week, because if you're in, you're probably going to be right back out. And that's while it would feel good for a few days, it's not likely to last long unless you are a firm believer you're going to go to Florida and win. And I think you're going to go to Florida and fight and compete and beat the spread
cover.
And beat the spread again and not
6-0.
embarrass. Not in best. I thought is it 6 or 7?
Well, they've only played 6 games.
No, but they're going back.
They're 8-0 since Chad Morris is fired now.
Okay. I think they're going to show fight. I was going back. I thought going back.
Now 8-0 since Chad Morris has been fired.
Yeah. I think they're the thing. The last 2 years, you'd be worried to death about embarrassing yourself. Obviously, you've moved well past that conversation this year, and I think they're going to do anything. And that was the thing we were measuring against coming into this year. Hey, only have one game. That was my plea. Only have one game where you embarrass yourself this year. There may not be any of those by the time the year's over.
One of the reasons you were able to win on Saturday night outside of the third quarter was the toughness that was on display from both Felipe Franks, Hudson Henry, and some others. You could see that Hudson was hobbling throughout the game, dealing with, I don't know if it was a knee or an ankle, but he was not 100%. But give props to the Arkansas legacy for gutting it out. Felipe got rolled up on at one point in the game when they were driving in the red zone, and he also gutted it out as well. And I think that's kind of the toughness factor that Sam Pittman has instilled with this football team, that even though that you're going through some pain, they were able to still get past that. And again, both those guys were pivotal. I know we were talking about Blake Kern a little bit earlier, but Hudson made some plays on Saturday night as well, and we know what Felipe meant to that football team, especially in the third quarter.
Yeah, and the tight end position, I thought, you mentioned Hudson, Blake Kern, the Lamar product, really looked good, caught the touchdown pass, showing out a little bit there. I think he's a player you're going to be able to reliably count on moving forward as well.
He just kind of chugs the lawn. If you watch him, when you watch Christian McCaffrey play in the NFL, the first guy never tackles him. Well, he does that because he just jukes them out of their shoes. Now, when you watch Blake Kern play, the first guy doesn't tackle him because he just mauls the first guy. Mm-hmm. He just runs him over, whoever it may be, linebacker, safety, quarterback. The first guy is not typically tackling Blake Kern. Now, the second, it might take 2 or 3 guys to bring him down, but when he gets going, man, he is hard to stop. Now, he did have a fumble in that football game. If you remember, John David White recovered, and they were luckily able to do that within.
Right, and it was right near the goal line, too.
Yeah, it was within, I think, the 5-yard line or whatever, so that was lucky. But he has been a fun player to watch, and that was a question mark you had heading into the season. Hey, what's the tight end position going to look like? Hudson dealt with concussion last year, dealt with some injury stuff, is dealing with it again this year. Blake at the tight end position. You had, obviously, C.J. O'Grady leave last year, so you were like, hey, what's this going to look like? Well, to this point, you've been not. I mean, it's not Kyle Pitts or Jake Weidemeyer at Texas A&M or Pitts at Florida, but you've gotten some production out of that position that you've been excited about, especially from a walk-on like Kern.
And what I like what I'm seeing, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know about you, maybe your eyes are a little better than mine, but I think with the way Frank sells the play actions and sells the fakes, you saw it a little bit on the play to Kern, but just other plays in the game, he's doing a really good job. I think there's going to be more opportunities to dump the ball to the middle of the field to one of the tight ends, and maybe they have a little more 22 personnel or 2 tight ends on the field. I don't see him really going with 1 wide receiver, maybe 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends and 22s. I don't like the idea of them ever probably taking a running back off very often. I don't think they'll start with that. So you're going to have opportunities to throw to these guys in the middle of the field. And I think with the way Franks really sells the play actions, he hides the ball so well, I think these guys are going to have chances to catch balls for first downs and more throughout the course of the rest of these 4 games or so.
And I think on the note that you're talking about, the reason that he's able to do that is because they've had success running the football with Traylon Smith and then Rakeem Boyd, and what that does is it sucks in the linebackers, and like you're talking about, when Felipe's done a really good job of selling the play fake, and then that allows guys like Hudson and like Blake Kern to get over the middle, go over the top. And on that touchdown they had, it was a beautiful design play call. I think Rakeem Boyd was in there, and just a perfect play fake, a perfect throw, and a perfect catch. Just a perfect sequence to end that red zone with 6 points.
Hey, we're brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. They're celebrating 25 years at World of Wireless. Part of their anniversary celebration is they're giving away a Google Hub and a $100 Visa gift card when you sign up for Dish right now. So call WOW now, 877-305-DISH. It's 877-305-3474. Get the Google Hub and a $100 Visa gift card with the Hopper system that can record up to 16 of your favorite shows or ball games all at one time right now when you call World of Wireless. Celebrating 25 years in business. World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH.
Adam in Panama City giving Blake Kern a lot of praise. Says he reminds him of Jason Peters. Well, he's got a long way to go to get that point, Adam.
A mouthful.
Tom Murphy coming up.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it in an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7, randallford.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front-row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
This is Randy Magnus, mortgage loan manager with Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate after their loan is closed. Your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. With Arvest competitive rates, you might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers has several new items they've added to the menu. Stop by Art's and try something new, like the El Diablo Burger, a spicy pork patty with grilled jalapenos, hot barbecue sauce, and pepper jack cheese on Texas toast, or the all-new smoked Philly beef sandwich, or the patty melt, and backed by popular demand, the 14-ounce smoked ribeye. Plus, Art's can handle all your game day home gating or tailgating menus. Try something new at Art's Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
They're going to throw a receiver screen to Tyson Morris. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas, and the Razorbacks are right back in it.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
Tom Murphy going to join us in about 5 minutes. Also going to get into your SEC update, get into some games that we saw over the weekend, what we thought. Also, the betting lines that have come out for the next weekend's slate of games. I say that next weekend. I mean this weekend. Arkansas 17-point underdogs is what you opened at on the road against the Florida Gators. Terrence, we will get to you in just one sec. First, I want to tell you about Trinity Multifamily.
Yeah, if you're tired of your noisy neighbors, if you're looking to upgrade your apartment, looking for one with an extra bedroom, or maybe you want to move to a duplex or a townhome, whether it's Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, Central Arkansas, or another state, Trinity Multifamily manages thousands of units in communities near you. So if you're looking for a new place to call home, make your first call to Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817, or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Going to Northwest Arkansas, welcoming in Terrence in Bella Vista. Terrence, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
Hey, good morning, guys. Fabulous Monday morning. Following the Hogs win, I got to say it was a great win. I really enjoyed it. It was just one of those where you went on a roller coaster ride. You came in with high expectations. Everybody knew what we had to do to beat Tennessee, and the first half, it didn't go our way. Basically, we were like, okay, we know what we have to do, and we're not doing it. So it looked like it was going to be a long game. And for them to go in and just make the adjustments that they did and come out fighting the way that they did is just, it implements, it just really lets you know the coaching staff that we have in place are doing their job, and they're doing it to the fullest. And the kids, every last player out there just buying into it, and it's a great thing to see. I'm loving it.
Terrence, it's great, and
it feels good to know you have the confidence that every game you're going to play well. You know, it's been so long since you've had that. So,
and it's like it's been decades, what it seems like.
Yeah,
I mean, the last 2 years, it's like, oh man, when is this season going to be over? When can we start over and start fresh? This is what we would really need to do, and that's what happened this year. Yeah. I mean, we started. We took the amazing part about it is the fact that we have a whole lot of the same players that didn't perform so well over the last couple of years, and to see them doing it now is like, wow, where have this been? I mean, they've been there. It's just a matter of getting it out of them, getting them to believe in the system to where they can actually perform at their highest potential.
You got to have a system that believes in them. That's why coaching matters.
Exactly.
Because the system's believing in them, and that was, from everything we've heard and everything we're seeing, that was a problem the last couple of seasons.
Yes, and it's really good, and to see them actually going out there performing and just giving it their all. I mean, that in coming into the season, that's all you ask for. Go out there, give it your best, and let the chips fall with it.
Terrence, I think we lost you, but no, you're making some good points, man. It's the belief that Sam Pittman seems to have, and again, he's calm and steady in that locker room following the first half, and they were able to come out just with the force in that second half. Let's bring in our guy, Tom Murphy, who got a chance to talk with Sam Pittman and some of the other Arkansas players after the game. Tom, we were just talking with Terrence just kind of about the mentality that Sam Pittman had in the locker room. I don't remember if it was you that asked the question or someone else, but he was just like, we just told him, hey, only down by 13, the offense is going to go out and score, the defense is going to get some stops, and we're going to win this football game. And he kind of seemed nonchalant in his answer to us, and I thought that was just kind of a perfect example how his team felt going into the second half. What did you think, Tom?
Yeah, I agree with what Terrence was saying right there. That was a good points all around, and it just comes from who Sam Pittman is and the type of coaches he hired, guys who have a way of communicating with the players that is very real. And when they tell them something like, hey, look, don't hang your heads. The offense is going to get the second half kickoff. We're going to go down and score. Then we're going to hold them. We're going to score again, and we'll be ahead before you know it. That's what he told them. And they believe that. And they made adjustments. They were very clever with the way they adjusted defensively to cut down on the cutback lanes that Tennessee had. Tennessee averaged 4.5 yards a carry in the first half. Excellent game plan, controlled the clock and all that. But then when Arkansas shut it down to 2.5 in the second half, beginning with their first possession, you could tell there was a difference. Arkansas was on its way to victory. Now the fourth quarter, when Tennessee really got after them, they didn't do a whole lot offensively, but the third quarter was what they needed, and it propelled them to the win, and you just have to give credit. Here's the thing. Tennessee looked like a team that was, a little bit afraid of making mistakes or, worried about losing. And that's what happened to them, and now you've got all the negativity up there. With Arkansas, it was let's find a way to win, be positive about it, and find ways to win and make these corrections, and that's what they did. And so basically Jeremy Pruitt's in year 3 of a rebuild. He's had better recruiting classes. They've recruited very well there. It's the Nick Saban philosophy that they're pretty solid on defense, but Arkansas is ahead of them in their rebuild, and they were the team that lost 20 SEC games in a row. And Arkansas in year 1 of Sam Pittman is ahead of the Tennessee rebuild, and these are very similar level programs in my view. So it's just an amazing statement that the Razorbacks made.
Tom, you've been covering this team since the 2000s. Have you seen a quarter that seemingly went every Arkansas way possible since you've covered the Razorbacks?
Well, I didn't think about it before I came on the show, Ty. So, they've had some big they blew up against Texas A&M, and Tyler Wilson and Jarius Wright in the third quarter of that game, too, which led them to a win. But this one was particularly sweet because things just looked so dire. Yes, they had driven down there, but then they missed a chip shot field goal, so they're shut out. But, yeah, that was an outstanding quarter. Well, the total yardage was, 276 or 270-something to 16, the utter dominance. I hate it for Garantano because I know he's had a lot of criticism, and he kind of landed on his back and head. Did not have to go high. He did not have to jump on that play. He was too short of the first down, and I do think that was a big momentum changer for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, kind of that. It wasn't quite Elway in the helicopter play, but it was something like a cousin to that that led to his dismissal from the ball game. So let's look at the comparison of the juxtaposition to the first half, where Arkansas did get a first down on each of its 4 possessions, but came up empty-handed, a punt, a missed field goal, and then 2 more punts to end the half in Arkansas's 4 possessions. Their best drive was 16 plays, 71 yards, but ended in a missed field goal. What was the missing ingredient in your perspective in the first half? They kind of fell behind after watching Tennessee go 12 plays, 42 yards, got a field goal, 16 plays, 81 yards. They ate up a lot of clock on that other sideline. I don't know if Arkansas was pressing, if they felt some pressure to get something done, but there seemed to just be something missing in Arkansas's ability to sustain the drives, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, not knowing, the blocking schemes and, what they wanted to get done, they did start out well. I mean, they had an inventive game plan, and they got Devion Warren the ball twice and moved the ball past midfield. But then they had a couple of runs up the middle that they just didn't, get any space for Rakeem Boyd. And so I want to say on third down they threw incomplete or they had people covered. So that ended that first drive. But, the second drive was the long one, if I remember correctly. It was in the second quarter. So if Tennessee had been able to keep leaning on Arkansas, because that was the thing. Their lineman is so big, and you felt like, wow, they're going to wear Arkansas down with this time of possession. And Eric Gray was running very well, very hard. He's a fine back. And you just felt like, wow. Arkansas has finally hit a game where the other team just has more talent on the front and was able to kind of impose its game plan on the Razorbacks. But no, that's what halftime was about. They made those adjustments. They ran some blitzes from the other side of the field that shut down some run plays, and they covered better. Of course, Garantano comes out of the game, and the offense finds ways and unleashed some big plays. As Sam said on game night, they had to get a little bit of the run game established so they could draw the safeties up, make the linebackers not commit to deep, and then it opened up for Traylon Burks and the Mike Woods play. That's just a great individual play. He pushed out of bounds, makes a great catch, holds the guy off for about 40 yards, and then just has one step out of bounds. Otherwise, that would have been a spectacular touchdown.
Now, and speak to the balance in this game. Arkansas, 45 rushes, 198 yards, 215 yards of passing in this game, over 400 yards of offense for the Razorbacks.
It was really a well-done job by Kendall Briles. They got the ball to their playmakers. I mean, there's a few more. You'd like to see Warren maybe get a few more touches. Like to see Trey Knox get involved. He's a great talent. He just doesn't have that upper end speed, so they've got to find ways to get him loose. But no, they had a little bit of the interior run game. So Burks and Smith combined for about 130 of it. But it was those other plays, the Warren end around, some of the other plays, and Frank's running that got them. Here's a pet peeve of mine. They credit all the sacks, the 28 yards lost in sacks, to running offense. And I really wish they would just take that off the team passing total so you had a true indication of what your running was. Otherwise, it would have been over 200 in that game. They outran Tennessee, the team that's, one of the best ground game teams in the conference.
Tom, what about the confidence in A.J. Reed? I mean, he misses a 21-yard chip shot, and then Sam told us after the game, well, if I didn't put him back in there, I wouldn't have – I mean, if I didn't put him back in there, then I would have said that I didn't think he had the confidence to make it. He did that. A.J. Reed connected. It completely changed the trajectory of that football game, but a lot of people were questioning it. What did you think about that decision and the confidence that Sam Pittman had in A.J. Reed?
Yeah, you don't like your kickers miss the 21-yarders. I mean, it's an extra point. They said on TV, he's made 73 extra points in a row. Right, Tom Hart said it right before he missed that field goal. But Sam said he sees him in practice every day, and he knows him, and he has trust in him, and the 48-yarder was very big. Here's the thing. I wrote about it today. He was 0 for 3 on any field goals longer than 34 yards this year. And I want to say it was the Auburn game, and he missed a couple of long 40-something yards, or maybe the Ole Miss game. I don't remember. But he made that one, and you're right. It instead of an 8-point game, which when you're a Falcons fan and the other team is trailing by 8, you always think about, or 16 even, you think about how you can lose the game. And when you're up 11, the other team's got to get 2 scores. And if one of them's a field goal, they got to get a 2-point conversion. So it was really big, and they shut them out in the second half. That was a decent idea for Tennessee in their last drive to do the underneath short stuff to the back, but it just took way too much time off the clock. And ultimately, Jeremy Pruitt made a bad decision with 3 minutes left or whatever it was when they could have kicked about a 42-yard field goal. Brent Samaglia was money. He probably makes that field goal. Then you're down 8, and Arkansas feels a little bit more pressure to get first downs on offense after that.
Tom, you think about what occurred in the second half. There was a video that the Razorback football account put out that said there was a clip from Barry Odom saying, "It's our house, act like it." Now, I don't know if that occurred prior to the game or at halftime, but you really felt that this team was energized by the crowd in the second half. And at times, man, with the crowd noise pumping in, with just what the fans who were in attendance were providing, you could tell it definitely had an impact on the game and that this team wants to continue to defend the home turf.
Oh, yeah. I saw that clip and wondered the same thing. It looked like it might have been in the indoor facility, but it was hard to tell exactly. But yeah, there's this synergy going on, y'all. It's between Sam Pittman and his coaching staff. The way they talk to the players, the way the players believe in the coaching staff, the fans clinging to someone who's brought hope to this program when for 2 years you showed up. That's what Terrence was saying right when I got on the phone. There were points in games where you're like, well, that one's over, and Arkansas would be down 14 points or something. They came back from a 17-point deficit at Auburn and took the lead and should have won the game. They should be 4-2. They should be third place in the SEC West. That's what the fans are so stoked about. You know, this is a down. You know, 2020 is a horrible year in terms of global affairs, and they've got a team that believes that they can come back from deficits. Look, the Florida game might be probably, other than Alabama coming in here late in the season, this Florida game is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
But the fans are going to go down there going, you know, what can we do? Can we put a scare into them? They're happy. They're excited about the prospects of this team going forward. And if you project this game to last year, it would have been like, hell, I'm not even going to watch. I'm going to go deer hunting. You know, I'm going to do something else with my day.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the damn game this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll get to that. I want to ask you one more question about this offense, and particularly the fourth quarter where they were playing from the lead. But you look at, you know, offensively what Arkansas didn't accomplish in the fourth quarter. And I thought Jordan Rogers made an interesting comment because, 3 yards of offense, however, when Arkansas was trying to run the clock, trying to do something maybe they're not built to do. And we've all been frustrated with Arkansas's desire to continue to keep a quick motor even when playing with the lead. And Jordan Rogers made the comment in some of his conversation with Kendall Browse, this offense isn't built to milk the clock, to work the clock. And we saw that in the fourth quarter. You know, they had possessions in the fourth quarter, 5 plays, -4 yards, 3 plays, -10, 5 plays, 17 yards, and then the end of the half with no plays, no yards on the interception in the end zone. So that's not even an offensive possession. What are your thoughts on that? As you know, we have seen Arkansas, you know, frustrate the fans at times where they snap the ball quick, but he may be spot on here. This isn't an offense that really knows how to gear down, even when the situation calls for gearing down.
Yeah, that's the quandary, isn't it? That what Jordan Rogers said on TV, I had my earphones in that night of the game, so I've heard it twice now, was that this is an offense that's not built to milk clock. And he said you can see the guys, you know, they'd get the call in, and then there'd be a little bit of standing around. They have to make the mental adjustment that they can be ready to go even then. I think maybe it gives the defense time to maybe see what alignment they're looking for and get that extra breather. So I think it's not so much a negative for Arkansas, maybe more than it's the defense has a chance to rest and really, you know, plug in for that play. You still got to go execute it. So milking the clock in the fourth quarter is something that you have to do sometimes, because if you go fast and throw an incompletion on third down, then suddenly you keep leaving the other team more clock. And in this case, they did bleed some clock down, but they sure didn't maintain any drive. So that's the quandary with the hurry-up teams and holding late leads. They've got to make that mental step that, hey, we can still be a team that dominates and gets first downs in a fourth quarter when we're running at a different pace. And, you know, hey, they're still in the very early periods of this offense. There's still development to go. And like with the running game, still developing.
All right, we'll pick up the conversation Thursday and talk about the Florida game. We'll never get to do this again, so I got to ask you today. It's Masters Monday in the middle of football season. You're a Georgia guy, so I got to bring that up with you as we prepare for the Masters in your home state, right in the middle of football season. What are you hearing from your home state this week?
Well, it is truly bizarre to be in November, but I guess they did it for the pandemic, and I don't know all the rationale behind it.
Well, we know
I love golf.
Yeah, but it's just going to be weird watching the Masters in November and not see the azaleas and the patrons and all of these things. But I am stoked about watching the Masters this week.
It's going to be great.
And seeing College Game Day at Augusta. So.
Yep, it's incredible, man. Hey, we will look back on 2020 and say there's never been another year like it. I mean, we lost Alex Trebek, and we have a crazy presidential election that's taking place, and the pandemic. So we'll never have another year like 2020. At least I hope not.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll chat on Thursday.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good week.
Good stuff as always, Tom.
Yeah, and it brought to you here on this Hot Take Monday by the all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. All the top brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe, and with a lifetime warranty on every new unit, and their mobile service shuttle. Relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. It's all at the all-new Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale.
You brought up two things that we are going to discuss. One's going to be periodically throughout the week. That is the Masters. Again, College Game Day will be there this week, which is something that's never happened before, and it's also unique to have it in November, which we're used to it in April. And then also the passing of Alex Trebek. To close out the program today, if you have a favorite Alex Trebek moment, make sure you text those in at 877-377-6963. That's how we're going to close out the program. Really excited about that. But before we do all of that, I want to get into your SEC update.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Biggest game of the weekend, the Florida Gators beat the Georgia Bulldogs 44-28. Kyle Trask, unbelievable. Now, a guy that's already been asked about, I think it was a texter from OKC, Kyle Pitts is going to be a problem next weekend. He's probably the best tight end in all of college football. A matchup nightmare. We'll discuss what he brings to the table for the Gators, but they get the biggest win maybe in the college football season outside of Notre Dame beating Clemson.
Yeah, and the way they did it, down a couple of touchdowns early in that game. Zamir White with the early score on the first play, just a handoff that he took outside, went 75 yards untouched, then a pick six. Florida had to fight their way out of the hole in this ball game, and they did to win 41-28. You wonder if it emotionally will keep them from being on point early in the game. I don't know. Florida's an elite team. Maybe they will be sharp and ready to go from the kickoff. I would think Arkansas's opportunity to maybe make some hay would be early in this ball game. I would think perhaps Florida would be flat for the first couple of possessions. Maybe you can get out 7-0, 10-0 in this ball game, 14-0. That might be your best opportunity against the Gators.
Florida's only loss this season is a road loss to Texas A&M, and where Seth Small kicked a field goal as time expired. That's their only loss this year. This is going to be a tough football game for Arkansas to win, but it's one that you hope you should be able to compete. Only two other games outside of the Arkansas games, beside the one we just listed. Mississippi State survives at home to Vanderbilt 24-17, and then Texas A&M just put the beat down on South Carolina 48-3. Will Muschamp not happy with his team's performance, and why would you be after getting beat like that at home?
All right, more to get to, including your calls. We're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. We've been telling you about that 26-pound, not 26-inch, 26-pound brown that our buddy Lynn Hicks was the guide on that trip. And it's just incredible the quality of fish that you can catch at Gaston's. If you haven't seen it, go to their Facebook page, and you'll be just wowed by the picture of that huge, massive brown trout that was caught. This is the time of the year those type of fish are biting. Been on a river minnow, and listen, they got the guys that can show you how to have that fish of a lifetime there at Gaston's. 870-431-5202 to book your trip and a great week or weekend at Gaston's.
870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Tommy Craft for the Fenceman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Want to know why I shop at Sody's? They reward me when I shop. Ooh, new single barrel bourbons? I'll take 2.
You just earned 200 points.
Woo! Racking up the cash rewards. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Phil Hicks in Greenwood about Shelter's home insurance.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
42-24. Boyd gets the call left side inside the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Rocky Boyd with his second rushing touchdown. And with 36 seconds to go, the Hogs find the end zone again.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
Little Chris Stapleton Tennessee whiskey seemed a little apropos coming off the Tennessee win. I think that just feels good, right?
Feels really good listening to it, yeah. Crank it up here. As far as it'll go.
What's going down? That's
as far as I can make it go. We talked over the good part there. Oh. Hey, we're brought to you by Standard Materials Group. Immediate openings right now for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and you want to be home every night, you want to work with a company that offers great pay, great benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, you can apply online right now at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. They're a diverse group of individuals looking to employ individuals who want to be in a great career path with a great company with upward mobility. They want to welcome you into their fold. So apply today. They welcome minorities and females to apply as well. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Back to the phone lines, opening those up, 877-377-6963. Going out to Bella Vista again, welcoming in John to the program. John, you're on the Morning Rush.
I wanted to comment on a few things Tom said. I woke up yesterday and I opened up the paper to see the coaches poll and see where everybody stood, and there was Auburn at 4-2, ranked 21st in the country, and I'm sitting here thinking, that's where the Hogs should be, right there at 21st in the country, and at 4-2, and once again, I can't go back and change, you can't go back in time and change things. I realize it's a loss on paper. But it really made me think, you know what? The Hogs are back. We should be ranked 21st in the country.
Yeah, you're not going to get any arguments for me. I mean, I think they should have won that football game. I've been pretty clear and open about that. But you are where you are. You're 3-3, and you have a great opportunity this weekend, just like you had a great opportunity. You completed the opportunity on Saturday night against Tennessee. But, John, they've yet to win a marquee game. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, they're great wins. You're pumped. You're excited. Like, I'm not trying to belittle it or anything, but you haven't beaten A&M, Georgia, Florida, Alabama. Those are the 4 marquee games on your football schedule, and Auburn was his 2.
You haven't beat a team that's currently ranked.
Well, I understand that, but we technically should have beaten Auburn, and Auburn is ranked 21st.
No arguments for me. No arguments there.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
And the thing is, you win this week, you're going to be ranked in every poll out there. So if you had snuck in this week, I said this a minute ago, if you snuck in and you were where you said you were, 21 in the poll, if you lose to Florida on the road, probably fall out of the poll. So it'd be a short-lived ride at the bottom end of the poll. What good does that do you? It feels good for a week to pat yourself on the back, but, hey, go win at Florida. And, heck, I would even say if you go and you play Florida to the end, play Florida into the fourth quarter, which I think this team can do. If you can go to Florida and you can play them within a touchdown and you're making them work their tail off into the fourth quarter, you may get enough respect off that tie to sneak into the bottom end of the poll that way. I mean, that's progress for a program that's been where it's been. So, that's not the way you want to do it. But, hey, go win this week, and you'll probably be not just in the poll but firmly inside the top 20 in everyone's opinion.
Throw some money on Arkansas. I have a listener that's texted me that has won $600 on the Razorbacks this year because he's bet a Benjamin Franklin every single game, and they are 6-0 against the spread this year. So Arkansas
he should have let it ride.
Arkansas opened as a 17-point favorite against the Gators. We'll see where that line shakes out. They're in Vegas and overseas, but that's where it's at right now. So, but I think one of the reasons that you think that Arkansas is going to have a chance in this football game is because of turnovers. And Arkansas, guys, was able to force 2 turnovers in that football game. You had the interception from Eric Gregory on a tip pass from Greg Brooks, and then also Hudson Clark made a play in the back of the end zone that allowed Jalen Catalon to pick it off. So turnovers were not necessarily the factor they were in the Ole Miss game, but you had 2 of them. You didn't have a single one that you gave up. My goodness gracious. Felipe had 2. Blake Kern had 1. Traylon Smith had 1. You recovered all those fumbles, but a little too close for the call. Don't be doing that against Florida. Like, they will recover a couple of those if you cough the ball 4 times in that football game.
It's better step up in class, to use the horse racing term. So you're stepping up in class this week against Florida. And, hey, these were the 3 games, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, that you knew that, hey, you're really going to measure where you were as a program. Hey, let's go see where we're at right now. So I'm excited about seeing where you're at. Win or lose, I want to see what progress we've made this week. Mm-hmm. Are you within 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns? Let's see where you're at against the best in the country. So another chance against a top 5 team to really kind of see where you're at.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Welcome in one of our favorite callers, Gary in Arkadelphia. Gary, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning, guys. Hey, I was busy last week and getting grandkids to school and neighbors and friends to doctor's appointment. Didn't have time to call in. And anyway, I felt good after our A&M loss going into this ball game. And, Terrence called in earlier, and I have to agree with a lot of what he said. It's fun, exciting. We're watching the team grow and develop right before our eyes and get better right before our eyes. And I had to turn the post game off Saturday night. People griping and complaining, and I'm scratching my head after what we've witnessed the last 2 years and really the last 3 or 4 years. How can anybody call in and gripe and complain, talking about how bad the defense played the first half?
Amen.
But guys, I can't wait for Saturday's ball game. I don't believe we can win. I know we're going to go down there and give them everything we got. And it'll be a miracle if we go win because, Florida's pretty daggum good. So, but people want to go out and complain about things. You just need to stop, sit back, and look at where we've been and where we're at right now. We just need to enjoy what's going on. And as far as the adjustments at halftime, y'all talking about, Sam's comments after the game were very calm. But go back and listen to him when he talked to Geno Bell before he went in the locker room. It's the first time this year that I've actually heard Sam really upset. He was upset. Got a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line, and you're attempting a field goal from the 4-yard line. He made it clear they're not getting it done. We got to score points. So I have a feeling he went in the locker room, and before they made adjustments, and the biggest adjustment he made was putting a foot in their arse and make them come out there. They were mad and come out ready to go. And Bumper Poole made a comment after the game that they knew that they were better than what they showed in the first half, and they had to go out and prove to everybody just how good they were. So, but guys, anybody wants to complain about certain things, and players need to step up. And considering where we've been, I have nothing to complain about. I'm excited. I can't wait. The growth of this football team and the love for their coach and this coaching staff and the fun they have when they hit the field. It's fun to watch. And win or lose, they're fun to watch. You're going to get everything. They're just like you're supposed to be. They're going to get out there and get after it. And so, guys, I just don't understand it. Franks, by golly, he's, we spent 2 years. Stop, think about this. We spent 2 years. We had 9 different starting quarterbacks through 24 games. So nobody needs to complain about anything Frank's doing. Right now, he looks like a Heisman Trophy candidate compared to where we were at 2 years ago. But anyway, guys, that's all I got. Everybody have a good one.
Perfectly said, Gary.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, I think I actually listened to Jenkins and Phil Field that call complaining about the first half defense, and I'm just sitting there in my car thinking they won the game, and the first thing you want to talk about is the first half defense. Come
Where
on, man.
have you been the last 2 or 3 years?
Come on. All right, hour number 3 coming up. Again, your calls, your text on the way. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is.
Perfect. I'm getting a head start on my list for Santa.
Well, we've got great year-end deals on Camry, Highlander, RAV4, Tacoma, and more at your participating Toyota dealer.
What else you got?
Let's see. There's also Corolla, Highlander, Tundra. Oh, and we have a great selection of hybrid vehicles. Camry Hybrid, Highlander Hybrid.
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. What kind of toys you got? Video games, stuffed animals, sea monkeys, you know, the good stuff.
It's actually Toyotathon, not Toyotathon. We have great deals on vehicles, not toys. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Well, okay, then what can I get for $5?
Oh, well,
During Toyotathon, get $1,500 total bonus, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Tacoma Special Edition for $199 a month for 24 months with $999 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3888. 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling Wow World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon in the mid to upper 70s. Clouds tonight. An overnight low will drop down into the low 60s. Partly to mostly sunny skies on Tuesday. A chance of a few isolated showers or storms. Our high in the low 70s, but temperatures will fall in the afternoon. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hertz Car Sales. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
This will probably be the final play of the game. 4 seconds to go. Hogs have blanked them in the second half. You know they'd like to keep that up. Bailey back in the end zone. Jump ball. Was it intercepted? I think it was. Catalan picked it off on the final play of the game. Catalan picks it off and Arkansas wins it. What a comeback by the Razorbacks.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Rush. Just got a question from Mark on YouTube, who listens on our online stream in Heber Springs. He's moving to Rogers, and I just want to remind everyone that we are on a variety of platforms: YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, that you can listen to us online, as well as hitthatline.com and the TuneIn app, and then the typical radio stations that you love and know for quite some time: ESPN 99.5, 95.3 and 1290 Northwest Arkansas, 96.3 Hot Springs River Valley, 104.3 Harrison Mountain Home, 97.1 Camden South Arkansas, and then 95.3 here in Fort Smith in the River Valley. And if you don't get a chance to listen to the show its entirety or the interviews, you can find all those on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just type in Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Our Morning Rush poll question this morning is, what was the biggest second half adjustment that you think that Sam Pittman, Barry Odom, and Kendall Briles made? And that's where we'll start again in hour number 3 on a Hot Take Monday.
Yeah, it's brought to you by the all-new Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale, with all the top brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. Hey, it's deer hunting week, so if you need some help with your RV, they're there for you. And with their lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Again, it's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
I want to talk about Felipe Franks' performance on Saturday night. I also want to get into your Hog update, but first I want to go to the land of the Goblins. Welcome in Brian, who is in Harrison. Brian, you're on the Morning Rush, man. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. This is a long-time listener, first-time caller. I've actually I work a night shift here in Harrison, and so, I had to work this past weekend, unfortunately, so I didn't really get to catch a lot of the Hogs game. Of course, I've been a Hogs fan ever since I was born. Get to listen to it a little bit on the radio, but I will tell you that somebody was streaming it on their phone in the break room when we went to break, and got to watch the very last part of the game. And I want to tell you something, guys. The one thing that got me about Sam Pittman, everybody talks about how great of a coach we have, and of course you see all his interviews and stuff, and he seems like a really genuine guy. But the one thing that really got me, guys, at the very end of the game, something that a lot of people maybe don't see all the time is after the game was over, we had won, and you see Sam Pittman crossing the field, and of course they got all this on TV. Every single one of the Tennessee linemen came up and gave him a hug, and that just shows me right there that the character and respect that man has, everywhere he's been, and that's why I think we've got a great man at the head of them. And I just wanted to make that comment. Thank you guys so much.
Brian, we appreciate your call this morning, and that's a great point by you. Cade Mays actually embraced him not once but twice, several times following the game. And it was really cool to see that because, we're kind of in an odd times and stuff with COVID and everything, but to see former Sam Pittman players come up to him and speak with him after the game, it speaks volumes to his character, the relationships he has built, and just, that wasn't occurring with Chad Morrison following the Auburn game, but you saw that from a couple Tennessee players with Sam Pittman. That's just another example of the relationships he's built over the years in his time in college football.
Yeah, these are players that he recruited. These are players he built relationships with, and these aren't players he necessarily directly coached in every aspect. So, absolutely, this it tells you just the fact that Sam Pittman developed a recruiting relationship with some of these guys was enough to make that kind of impact. So, tells you who you got as your leader, and doesn't it make you wonder why it took so long for Sam Pittman to become a head coach? Now, I think it was worth the wait, and you're glad it happened at Arkansas, and it was a fit, but makes you wonder why so many ADs, so many head coaches maybe look past him to be an offensive coordinator, and the path had to evolve the way it did for him to become a head coach, and probably Arkansas was the only spot where he would have had that shot, certainly at this level.
Well, here's the question I'll flip back on you. So Barry Odom tried to hire him at Missouri, didn't want to leave Georgia. Outside of Mario Cristobal and Philip Fulmer, can you name me another offensive line coach background that's been named a head coach recently?
I probably can't name you one, but I know there's been others, and I know it's a growing trend with offensive line coaches becoming offensive coordinators. So,
but not necessarily head coaches. There's not a lot of guys that have
coordinators, not head coaches.
Yeah, and that's the point that you asked the question. I'll answer.
But you got to be. That's the path to being a head coach is being a coordinator first in a lot of cases.
It's very seldom happens where someone makes the jump from that to that. Like Sam's an example, and I don't know how many other examples, but that's kind of what I would point to. And I'm not the one that came up with that answer. Many others have pointed that out before me. That there's just not a lot of offensive line coaches that have gone and become either coordinators or become the head coaches of college football programs. Philip Fulmer, is one, and then you also talk about Mario Cristobal up there at Oregon. But there's just not a lot in college football. But you're excited about your offensive line coach and what he's done. And speaking of the offensive line, Felipe has, and what did I tell you on Friday, and what I tell you all throughout the week, Felipe is going to have his best game. Now, he didn't necessarily have it throughout the course of the game, but you look at his statistics following the game: 18 for 24, 75% completion. He had the 3 dazzling touchdowns in the third quarter, one to Mike Woods, one to Blake Kern, one to Traylon Burks with one of the prettiest passes that we've seen in quite some time. And he took a couple sacks, did have 2 fumbles in that game. Luckily, he was able to get on top of one, and then an offensive lineman was able to get on top of the other. But I think what I said is he's going to have his best performance of the season. I think when you measure it up to the other ones at home this season, that ended up being the case. And I just think what he was able to do on Saturday night, that performance just goes to show you what you have at the quarterback position. Listen to his statistics, y'all, in the third quarter. 11 of 13, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns. And now he's 3-0 against the Tennessee Volunteers. Beat him in 2017, beat him in 2018, and has now beat them this year. So that is just another mantle on his shelf. And what we've continuously said throughout the offseason leading up to Arkansas's 2020 college football season is, hey, you're not asking Felipe to be the first or second best quarterback in the SEC, but can he be middle of the back? Can he be top half? Well, y'all, he's not leads, but he's basically in every top 6, top 7 quarterback category that college football has to offer. That goes to show you this guy's stepping up. You may not like that he holds the ball on too long, but his last interception was what, 4 games ago? 3 games ago? He's not turning the ball over, and that's what you need for this offense is a guy that's not giving it to the other team.
Yeah. I don't know if it's his best game of the year, but it's certainly his best home performance of the year. And he wasn't the reason you lost the game. Obviously, you didn't lose it, but he didn't stand in the way of you winning the game. He's evolving. He's getting better. Again, he's going to go as far as his offensive line's going. I think that's maybe the point is this offensive line getting better as we go along? Now, you can say, well, crap, he took 4 sacks in the ball game. Well, sometimes the sack is the right play, and I don't know. You'd have to go back and analyze those 4 plays. But I do think there's some evidence that this offensive line is maybe showing some better protection and some better moments to help him make some of the plays he did make on Saturday night that allowed him to have a 75% completion percentage, 18 of 24, 215 yards in this game. So, is it fair to say this offensive line is growing and evolving as this season's moved on? Now in 6 games that they're better? I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's part of.
I thought that was a rhetorical question.
I think that's the point is that's being overlooked in the conversation. Felipe's getting better. I think one of the reasons he's getting better is the offensive line has evolved.
Well, I think you've seen it just in the rushing attack these last 2 games that it has gotten a lot better. There's been times we've talked about Arkansas's defensive line has been dominated at times. There were segments, there were little bits and pieces within the Tennessee and Texas A&M game where the opposing defense couldn't stop you on offense.
Yeah. So
for a sec, we got a text out of the 405. Yeah, text out of the 405. Apparently, there is a hurricane
I saw that.
coming for Florida, and according to the track, this is from the National Weather Service, 1 a.m. Saturday making landfall in Florida.
Yeah, and it's right near Gainesville, too. So
didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry about that.
No, but that's important. It's an important note because depending on how this thing goes, it could affect whether or not you're going to play.
And Gainesville's in eastern. It's in the eastern part
It's in
of
Central Florida.
Oh, it's central. Okay.
Right there. It's not far from Orlando. So Ocala, Gainesville, Orlando, all kind of in the same vicinity of the state, Central Florida.
And that'll be a conversation we unpack later this week, talking about Felipe going up against his former team. Rakeem's gone up against Texas A&M. You've seen Sam Pittman go up against his former coach, his former team in Georgia. The Jim Janey connection we just saw this past week. What's that dynamic going to look like? We will get into that coming up here on the Morning Rush later this week. But I think another thing that stands out about this football game is we talk about the quarterback play from Felipe in Arkansas. He has his best home performance to date. I think his best performance has been the Auburn game when he threw 4 touchdowns in that one. But I would probably say when you flip it on the other script, like Garantano getting that injury where he got cyclops basically. Now, it wasn't the Sam Bradford, John Elway hit that we've seen in the past, but he got hit pretty good by Bumper Pool and 1 or 2 over to the Razorbacks and ends up getting what looked to be in concussion protocol taken out of the game. That impacted the game.
The hit with the ground
heavily.
was the one that hurt him. I mean, when his head hit the turf, it wasn't necessarily the that he
as they spun him and he landed awkwardly.
He landed and the back of his head hit on the turf. Odd, and he never came back. That was it, and that was at the end of the first half, and never saw him again. So, that's the state of where we're at in this game. When there's 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you come back and you play, and we'll figure it out Sunday. But that's just not how football's played anymore. So that changed the complexion of the game for Tennessee. There's no question that certainly aided. That certainly aided the way Arkansas was able to defend Tennessee in the second half.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely did. All right, we will get into your Hog update coming up here on the Morning Rush. We are brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings this morning. Now, Beat-Ups has a bunch of new sauces that you need to go try. Pizza sauce. Now, you don't have to decide between pizza and wings anymore. You can go to Beat-Ups and get both. The lemon pepper, which many of you enjoy. The orange sauce, which has a little flair to a little Asian flair to it. And then the Carolina Reaper, which is taking over for the blazing sauce. And don't sleep on Buffalo Wild Wings' happy hour. That is a place we like to go on Friday nights after 9 o'clock. Cheap beer, cheap wings, and cheap appetizers. Unbelievable. Whatever you're going to get at Buffalo Wild Wings, it's going to be incredible. They have locations Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Make sure you get over there and try all the new great sauces. And they also have cauliflower wings at Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, let's get into your Hog update here on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog update on the Morning Rush.
The Florida Gators have opened as 17-point favorites at home. This is a game that's going to be very interesting because they're coming off their biggest win probably in the Dan Mullen era. I mean, this is the first time that he's beaten Georgia as the Gators head coach. Now, he's beaten him as the OC as the Florida Gators before, but never as the head coach. So keep an eye on how hyped they are coming off that win if they have a little bit of a letdown against Arkansas early on. And again, Tommy, if you bet on the Razorbacks, you've won some money. They are 6-0 against the spread this year.
Yeah, and that's can you continue that trend? It's a 17-point line right now. I think Arkansas can play them in less than 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Arkansas hadn't been afraid of the road this year. They've played, actually, you can make the case, better on the road so far this year. Different level of opponent, though, this week. And, Florida's trying to make a statement as we head towards the college football playoff rankings. Big game for them, too. So I like Arkansas, though, to go and make a statement about themselves, even though they may not win.
And this was something that we haven't talked a lick of basketball today to this point, but this comes from Kevin McPherson, our buddy, that Chance Moore and Akil Mwan are both going to be signing their national letter of intent to play for the Razorbacks. The early national signing period for basketball starts this Wednesday. So 2 of your recruits in the 2021 class will be signing, according to Kevin McPherson.
Yeah, and the other point from basketball that – and maybe you're getting ready to get to the schedule with the full conference schedule, and the whole slate came out too. So that was the other thing that came out after we left the air on Friday.
Disappointing. I was very disappointed.
We knew the non-conference schedule Friday morning. We didn't know the rest of the conference slate Friday. So.
Anything stand out about that schedule?
Starts on New Year's Eve weekend. There's going to be some games, for conference play that weekend. So nothing that didn't surprise you about it. So.
Well, here's why I was disappointed, and I knew this was going to happen. I was hoping there was just some oddity, some out of the possibility, but you're just going to Lexington. You don't get them at home.
What you expected.
Tennessee is the basketball team that's going to be really good this next year, and you got to go to Tennessee. So maybe the 2 toughest games you play all season are both going to be on the road.
Well,
that's something to keep an eye on when it comes to this conference slate.
And maybe, by next year you get both of them here when things are back to normal and you got a full Bud Walton Arena. I know there's news out this morning about a vaccine with a 90% effectiveness rate. Hey, that's not going to be out and distributed in time to affect sports seasons for this season. But you would feel like if that's indeed true for next college football season, for next basketball season, maybe you're back to operating at close to a normal level. Well, then those teams got to come to your place back, when you're back to 18, 19,000 strong.
It's a good point, and I didn't even think about that. The games that are going to be also competitive that you do get at home, Alabama's going to have a good basketball team. Nate Oates has got a good squad. LSU, depending on what happens with Will Wade, they're going to have a good squad. And then also Auburn, Bruce Pearl, obviously Chris Moore playing on that team. They're going to have a salty team as well. They did lose a lot from last year's roster, but that is going to be a team that you're definitely going to want to watch when they come to Bud Walton. And 4,000 allotted attendance is what's going to be the precedence and set. And Hunter Yurchek said this about football. This is also going to be applicable to basketball. The 4,000 is not set in stone. That's something that, like you mentioned the vaccine with Pfizer that came out the news about that, 90% or whatever. But there's nothing, depending on what shakes out with COVID and everything that goes on in the United States, the 4,000 attendance can be increased depending on what's going on.
As the year goes on, but wouldn't that – I don't expect that to happen. I mean, that's going to take quite a logistics setup in order to get, depending on the rules and all that. There's a lot of great unknowns that I don't know. I don't even know what questions to ask about that at this point to know how you would go from 25% to 50% to 75%, whatever it be. I don't even know what questions to even begin to ask how you would go from 4,000 to 14,000 at this point.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of up in the air, like Tommy was talking about as well. Now we've talked about what Kurt Herbstreit has said, that Sam Pittman is in the SEC Coach of the Year conversation. It's really banging on that door to have him mentioned, and that's something we will be talking about periodically throughout the rest of the college football season if this continues to trend upward. You hadn't won an SEC game in 2 years. You had one in 3 years. If Sam's able to continue to win, what that conversation is going to be centered around is just the revival that he's brought to this football program.
Well, if he's truly going to be really in that conversation, you got to win this week or the one at the end of the year. One of the others.
Coach of the Year, SEC Coach.
SEC Coach of the Year.
You think he has to beat Florida or Alabama?
No question. No question about it.
Why do you think that?
Because they don't give the SEC Coach of the Year to 5-5 coaches. I mean, particularly just give me an example of a 500 coach they've given it to, number one. And number two, when you're going to have likely an undefeated Nick Saban sitting there, he's going to be an easy pick, or a Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen's really worked his way into this conversation. So while we all agree, and we're certainly looking at it through a Razorback set of lenses here, and we would love for Sam to win it, I just don't get your hopes up on that. If it's going to happen, you're going to have to win one of these two games. You beat Florida or you beat Alabama, he'll probably win that, and you're going to have to win against LSU and Missouri as well.
Do you know the Arkansas SEC coach that's won Coach of the Year with a little over 500 record?
Probably Houston Nutt.
Houston Dale Nutt, 2001. Yeah. So it's happened. Yeah. Sylvester Crooms won it too, a little over 500 record.
That was a pre-Nick Saban SEC. So not if Nick Saban's sitting there undefeated, or you've got Dan Mullen with one loss, and particularly if he beats Alabama in the SEC title game.
Which is not going to happen, I don't think. Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, if he gets there, they've got a chance to do it. So Dan Mullen, right now, just the fact that Sam's in this conversation, and I know we're bringing it up because we're rooting for it. I'm just telling you, I'm not expecting it to happen.
So what has to happen for it to happen?
I just told you. He's got to beat Florida or he's got to beat Alabama.
And you don't think either that's going to happen, right? Kind of like I do.
Well, the odds aren't with you, but this team surprised a lot of people already, just the fact that you got 3 wins. So I'm not going to count this team out on anything.
They will not give Nick Saban the Coach of the Year. The guy that you mentioned prior to that, Dan Mullen, he's more likely to. Yeah. They won't give Saban the Coach of the Year, even if
an undefeated 11-0 Alabama Nick Saban. You got to remember who's casting the votes too. So
he's won one SEC Coach of the Year in the last decade with all that success.
Hey, hope you're right, and I hope his peers and the other people that are casting these. I hope you're right. I'm just saying, don't count on it. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey, make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of every day with Burton Pools and Spas and a hot spring spa. They have 28 different models that you can choose from, including several that are saltwater models right now at Hot Spring with a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. You can reduce stress, ease muscle pain, get a better night's sleep with a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Stop in Springdale or in Fort Smith and see them for yourself on the showroom floor, and invest in yourself with a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Look at them online as well at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun.
John in Nashville says it's 2020, Tommy. This is the year that it could happen. That's a good point, John.
That's a good factor there.
All right, coming up on the Morning Rush, want to dive into what happened in the third quarter yesterday.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
While you can't believe everything on social media these days, you can believe it's possible to start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own home, even if you have zero computer experience. Instead of waiting to see what happens when life gets back to normal, take control of your future now. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Free-Grow Furniture at 405 4th Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no-credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at FrankRowFurniture.com. Frank Row Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. Firearms, archery, Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Now they're going to go deep. Got one-on-one coverage. It is caught at the 20. And walking into the end zone is Hamilton. 71 yards.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
16 yards given up on defense, 3 touchdowns, a 48-yard field goal. That's what happened in the third quarter where you poured it on Tennessee, one of the better third quarters that you've seen in the history of Razorback football. How did it happen? That's coming up here on the Morning Rush. Before we do that, I want to welcome Spear Security.
Yeah, with all the turmoil going on in the country right now, with shrinking budgets and the size of police departments around the country, it's hard to protect your companies these days and maintain peace and order across the land. Companies like Spear Group Security are filling that void. They are not your average security company. Spear Group specializes in crisis situations like threatening employee terminations, labor disputes, corporate takeovers, and layoffs. They can assist you in preventing or stopping workplace violence. If you or your employees are concerned about their safety at work, let the folks at Spear Group Security visit with you about your concerns. Call them today, 501-310-5425. That's 501-310-5425. Or visit their website at speargroupsecurity.com. At speargroupsecurity.com. Call them before you know what hits the fan.
Mike's called in from Hot Springs. Mike, welcome in. You're on the Morning Rush, man.
Thank you. I just heard you talking a little bit ago about the hurricane. Is there any possibility that game could be played in Fayetteville? And I'll hang up and listen.
Mike, I appreciate the call this morning. We've gotten that text several times. I don't want to necessarily answer it because I don't know.
I would say what the pattern has been for the SEC so far is to move that game to December because they have a week built into the schedule already. I'm just looking at the schedule. December 12th, though, LSU and Gainesville are already scheduled to play, or LSU's already scheduled in Gainesville to play Florida because that game is already moved. So that would not be a possibility.
Didn't they move the LSU game to Missouri?
LSU, I'm talking about Florida and LSU.
I know, but LSU, you're talking about
that
hurricane.
Game was moved, yes. So I'm just
from
saying.
Baton Rouge to Mizzou, right?
Listen to me. Listen. They've already moved 4 games. The pattern for the SEC is to move games to that open weekend, which is why they built it in. They've moved 1 game to LSU to Missouri. They've moved 4 games to that open weekend.
Okay.
Is what they've, or 3, probably 2 games. 2 games to that open weekend.
Well, the point that you're making is they don't have an open date. So
Exactly.
Florida would have to, by my point.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So we're agreeing
They
with
don't
each other.
have, Florida does not have the open availability to play Arkansas on December 12th. And assuming that they're going to play on the 19th against Alabama, which is a high likelihood, what else could they do other than miss the game? And they don't want to miss. Now, they don't want to miss a home game. So what do?
You can't do anything, right? I mean, as in, like, if you're Florida, you can't play that. It isn't. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. Someone call in. That's what happened in the LSU-Missouri game, right? They moved it from Baton Rouge to Columbia.
Baton Rouge to Columbia.
Okay. And your point that you just made is that
what they have tried to do first and foremost is move games to the open weekend.
Correct.
They cannot do that with Florida because they're already playing LSU that weekend.
Exactly, which is the point I was making, that they don't have an open date to do that. So, that being said, the likely scenario, just from looking at it blindly, basically, would be believing that there is an off chance, an off possibility you might get an extra home game this weekend, right?
That's an option.
What else would they do? Because they can't. They have no other way. They're not going to not play the game.
Yeah. Well, that's an option.
Okay. What's the percentage on that? Like 0.5%? They're not going to not play the game. It's going to be played. So
Florida does not want to come to Arkansas and play.
Too damn bad.
Well, it's not their fault. There's a hurricane.
Life's not fair. That's what we always say. That sucks. Get over it.
No, that's what you say when it plays to your advantage. That's what you say. So
is that, like, from what we just laid out?
Those are your 2 options. Don't play or move it to Fayetteville.
God, can you imagine the outcry? And we would take every single call if the SEC decided to cancel the game rather than play that in Fayetteville. My gosh.
What are your other 2? Are there any other options than those 2?
They're not going to not play the game. You don't honestly think there's an actual logistical, or like you don't honestly think there's actually a chance of that happening, right?
I'm just asking you, what are the 2 options beyond that? What are any other?
But what do you okay, there's an option that the world can end tomorrow. What do you actually think is going to happen?
You can play it in a neutral site somewhere in another SEC stadium that's not being. I mean, I don't think they would do that because I think you would play it in Fayetteville. So I mean, I'm with you. I'm just doing what you do. I'm just arguing to argue. But I think you would move it to Fayetteville.
No, I argue because I
know you argue to argue.
You were just arguing about what I was saying, and now you're on the tracks. You're getting mad at me for arguing with me initially? I literally said that.
Just hush.
You're just complaining about arguing, and I made the point, and then all of a sudden you start arguing at me.
Just hush. I don't think you have any choice but either to play through the storm, depending on how bad it's going to be, and play it in Gainesville and play it out, or you move the game to Fayetteville. Those are your two options. I'm with you. They don't not play the game.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you actually agreed with that.
No, I just mess with you.
Okay.
Because you're easy to mess with. You get wound up.
You weren't just wound up there?
No.
Okay.
You'll know it when I'm wound up.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to play that way, that's fine. But, yeah, the likely scenario of this happening, of them not playing is I don't know.
I'm with you. They're going to play the game because they have a television contract that says we need to play this ball game.
So the Auburn game, we were concerned about that being played too, and they ended up playing it. So it's going to be something interesting to see how that plays out.
Hey, do you have sleep apnea and you are tired of the CPAP machine, the noise it makes, your wife complaining about the noise it makes? If you're tired of all of those things, call our buddy Dr. Bo Sparkman. He can fix you up with a dental appliance that they make. It's a custom-made appliance that they make for you that will replace your CPAP machine. Call them today, 479-785-1419, and make your appointment. He's helped hundreds of patients just like you. 785-1419 for Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Brinkrow Furniture at 405 4th Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eats Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at frankrowfurniture.com. Brinkrow Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Door Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
On out of the shotgun. Surveys. Picked off in the end zone by Brown. And Brown kills the A&M drive.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'll tell you what, doing a show on Monday following a Razorback win is a lot more fun than doing it after a loss. And I know the post-game show with Jenkins and Phil was quite entertaining for those who stayed up and listened either on radio, either on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, which you can always do that. It was awesome. So hopefully we'll get to do one of those following the conclusion of the Florida game as well. We are brought to you by the Fence Man this morning.
Yeah, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. I can tell you because they built some gates for me, and they can do the same for you, whether it's a custom wood fence, vinyl fence, custom wrought iron installation, powered automatic gates, anything involving a fence, they can do it for you. The whole process is quick, it's easy, it's affordable, and they have 18 months, same as cash financing available now with the Fence Man. So call for your quote today, 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Let's go to the phone lines and go to Mount Ida and welcome in Dave. Dave, you were on the Morning Rush, man.
Good morning, fellas. I'm just going to comment. I was at the ball game on Saturday. A heck of a showing in the second half. But the thing that really had me concerned is the play calling of the offensive coordinator, especially down there on the 4-yard line. The plays that were called, and late in the fourth period, when we had the lead, we're trying to move the ball, we go backwards. And, they were running plays where the ball was in the backfield way too long, and the pursuit was catching up, and the plays were too slow to develop. and all this. When we run our base plays and we run our quick passing plays and all that, that's when we seem to be more effective. Then we tried all this trickery and these reverses and all this other stuff. And I know he came from a little different system than the SEC, but in the SEC we got to do our base plays. We got to be effective at those, and move the ball just like we did starting the third period. And guys, I'll hang up and listen. I appreciate you having me on.
David, appreciate your call, man, Dave.
It's a good call, and I think that the issue, Dave, is when this offense gets out of its rhythm and starts trying to burn the clock. That's when the problems begin. As frustrating as it is for me and probably you as well, Dave, and Ty, I know when we've watched games together, you see them snapping the ball with the lead with 32, 30, 28, whatever on the play clock, and you're just pulling your hair out wondering, what are you doing? Milk the clock. Burn the clock up. And you look at this drive chart and you see these drives that went nowhere. I mean, you look at fourth quarter offensive production, and what was it, 3 yards, I think, on the drives they had in the fourth quarter. Let me get this pulled back out here in front of me, and it's just excruciating. But I think that's part of the issue, man, is when they try to slow it down, it just messes everything up. Fourth quarter drives, 5 plays, -4 yards. 3 plays, -10 yards. 5 plays, 17 yards. All 3 of those drives ended in punts. I think part of it is, and this would be a great conversation with Kendall Briles, is this offense, when they try to gear down, they're a Ferrari, man. When they try to gear down, and Ferraris aren't meant to go in first gear. They just aren't. And they try to go at a high pace, and that's the speed they know. And when they try to burn the clock up, they're out of sorts. And I think that's part of the issue. I think Jordan Rodgers nailed it in his analysis of it, and as frustrating it is for us to watch it, I think that's part of what's going on here.
Well, I think Clay always kind of brings me back to this, and as much as the offensive line has seemingly improved, especially running the football last 2 weeks, I mean, the offensive line is still not where it needs to be for Kendall Briles to put up Baylor, FAU, Houston-like numbers with this offense. So that being said, you can complain about them slowing it down. You can complain about Felipe. You can complain about certain running backs. But it all starts with what the big uglies are doing up front. And, again, give them credit. They had good performance, good segments within that football game. It's against the Vols, but they also had points where Felipe didn't have much time to throw the football, and he was on his backside. So that has to be shored up as well. Your point about the speed is 100% correct. When you're used to doing things a certain way and all of a sudden you have to switch it up, it's weird for a high-powered, up-tempo offense to all of a sudden slow down a little bit. It throws them out of rhythm. It throws them out of sorts, and you've seen it. So it's kind of the catch-22. Do you want to be in your best rhythm, giving your best chance to pick up first downs, or do you want to milk as much clock as possible? Kendall's trying to have to go back and forth. The answer hopefully should be both. But, again, and we also have to – people are angry at Kendall. Kendall's in his first year in the SEC, y'all. like, cut the dude a break. He's going up against the best defenses, the best athletes, the best coaching minds in college football, and Felipe has played like a top-half SEC quarterback. And you've seen times, like you saw in the third quarter of this football game, that Kendall Briles is going to have success. But again, this is his first time competing in the toughest conference, the toughest division, with the toughest schedule in college football.
Let me double
First
back.
time.
Let me punctuate what you said there. Felipe Franks is playing like a top-half quarterback with a bottom-half offensive line. I'm not going to say they're the worst offensive line in this conference because I don't think that's true. But we're not going to sit here, even me and you wouldn't argue they're not a top-half offensive line.
No.
So Felipe Franks is doing it with a offensive line that's 10th, 11th. Leave that for some other experts to tell me where they're ranked. But I know this, it's not in the top 7. It's probably in the bottom 4 or 5 somewhere, and you figure out how you come up with that number. But so Franks is doing it with a line that's not ready to play in prime time in this league, and he's still putting up numbers that are in the top half. So that's even more impressive, right? You get bonus points for that. So what's going to come of this when you get to a point where the offensive line catches up to the quarterback play we're seeing now, and I believe the running back play you're seeing now, and certainly the play of 2 or 3 of your wide receivers led by Burks, led by Woods this past Saturday, led by Warren at times. You got 3 wide receivers that have shown out, and the tight end play's coming along too. So, man, when it all comes together with an offensive line, that's the one thing that when that clicks, watch out.
He has not thrown an interception since the Ole Miss game. Think about that. The guy he has 3 interceptions on the year. That's what you had a question mark. He has thrown 14 touchdowns, almost 1,500 yards. His QBR is a little over 70. He is completing a pretty good number at 67%. Those are some statistics on your senior quarterback that came over from Florida. And again, he didn't have much time to gel with the offensive line. No spring ball. Didn't have much time to gel with the wide receivers, the running backs, and he is still putting up that type of production in Kendall Briles' offense. That would lead me to believe that success is on the way. So there, we've talked about a lot of good stuff this morning, but unfortunately, we got some bad news over the weekend as the longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek passed away, and it was a real bummer. So I want to ask you as we close down the program here, what is your favorite Alex Trebek moment? And I feel like it wouldn't be right without this in the background. So Alex Trebek has been a part of my lifetime, whether it's watching him at the salon, restaurants, growing up. I mean, I've watched that for quite some time. I know that Jeopardy has been just kind of a huge game show for everybody, and he has been the catalyst of that for quite some time. So Jenkins, you can hop in. Did you watch Jeopardy growing up like I did?
Of course I did.
Okay. So what is y'all's favorite?
Every afternoon after school, 4 o'clock.
I'm a lot older than y'all.
Are you really?
And I don't recall a day where there wasn't Jeopardy. I remember as a kid, much younger than y'all are now, but you're referring back to high school and teenage days. I think back to those days in my life, and I don't remember Jeopardy not being on. I don't watch it much now and haven't watched it much in recent time because I'm always at work at those times of the day when it came on at 4:30. I don't recall a point in my life, or I don't remember a point where that or Wheel of Fortune weren't on. They're just like staples, right? So Alex Trebek has been part of the fabric of television and a different kind of game show and in a safe haven where you didn't have to worry about politics or you didn't have to worry about opinions. It was something you could actually sit down and enjoy and learn something. Probably learn a fact or learn about a topic or learn about a subject at least for how many are in a column, 7 questions or whatever it is. You're going to learn about a subject or two that day if you got a chance to watch.
And he just had so many great moments over the years. I think back to one of the ones of my favorite where there is a contestant who's competing at the end after he wins. He's just like, Alex, I just want to let you know that I learned English by growing up listening to your show with my dad. And you see, like Alex almost he's tearing up, and it's bringing Alex to tears. And then there's moments like where a guy lost like $14,000 by just instead of answer, he knew the correct answer, but instead he just put "We love you, Alex" as the correct. And Trebek like just loses it like on that when it comes to just. I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't be like. I don't know how you make it through stuff like that based on what he was able to do just over the course of impacting so many young people that grew up watching his show. You mentioned you grew up like didn't even remember a time where it wasn't on. That's something I'm not.
That and Wheel of Fortune. Can you don't remember a day? I don't. If I don't, you don't remember a day Wheel of Fortune wasn't on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Vanna White, Pat Sajak, name me it. I mean, those are two. That and Jeopardy are two shows that have just always been there. So
he's being from Clarksville, texting a great point with him dealing with pancreatic cancer. He says he stood strong in the face of a terrible disease, and I think it's like when you think about him, you think about Stuart Scott, you think about some people that have dealt with just some very what seemingly was insurmountable difficulties in their life, and yet they made so many strong public statements, continued on with their jobs like nothing else was wrong. I know I would not have the pain threshold or the work ethic to do and to get through what some of these guys, and specifically we're talking about Mr. Trebek here, was able to do with his life and impact so many people. But we've talked about a lot of positive things this morning, but this was definitely the biggest negative that came out of the weekend. But as we do with anyone passing, there's always positive times that we can reflect on with great leaders in our society, and Trebek is definitely one of those people, especially in the history of media.
Yep, absolutely. All right, that kind of winds us down on a Hot Take Mondays brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. Got a lot to get to this week. Fun talking about Tennessee. I'm sure we'll talk some more about that, and we'll have to keep an eye on this hurricane coming to Florida and what might become of that game, and how does that hurricane strengthen? Is it going to be a strong enough hurricane to maybe prevent that game from being played in Gainesville?
Clay Henry's going to join us at 7 o'clock tomorrow. I'm working on getting Todd Blackledge and Kurt Herbstreit on this week. Hopefully we'll be able to snag one of those guys. Blackledge is going to be on call for the game on Saturday night against the Gators. Hey, maybe he's coming to Fayetteville to do a little Todd's Taste of the Town. We'll see. For Tommy Kraft, Matt Jenkins, I'm Ty Richardson. Don't spend the rest of Monday sitting on your hands. Do something productive. We'll talk to you tomorrow, y'all.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress